Hello, hello.
Good morning.
How y'all doing? Yeah, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. How's it going?
Hope all is well. It's another. Well, it's chilly out today.
I know it's fall, finally.
No, finally, I walked the other side this morning. I was like, yo.
It's cold.
I was like, alrighty.
I'm happy about it, but then I don't like waking up to like cold.
I like a little chill in the air, just a little bit. We got a big blanket on, and you're kind of scared to take it off because it's chill in the room. I like a little chill. I don't like to sweat. When it's hot, when you're sleeping, when it's hot, it just,
Yeah,
yeah. I hope
but
you all are doing well. Welcome to Maximize Monday. And it's going to be a cool day today as we continue discussing some cool topics, chop it up with y'all, mess around. Hoodie season is upon us. Praise the Lord. They say
kind of
they
nice.
say we're going to have a they say we're going to have a cold winter.
I believe it.
Yeah.
My bones were hurting yesterday because it's cold, so
Yeah.
I can feel it already. It's gonna be a rough winter.
Yeah. I was wondering why. 'Cause I'm like, yo, I'm sitting there like, why my joints seem to be hurting? I'm like,
It's cold.
it might be. I wonder why. I wonder why that happens. I want to research that.
I don't know.
Why
I know.
people's joints and stuff hurt.
I know when it rains, it's because of barometric pressure. I don't
Okay,
know
and that does
about
something to your
maybe someone watching can let us know in the comments.
can research it and see. I would do it right now, but I gotta
Make
hey
you
Keith,
think.
let me see. Why do bones hurt when it's cold? Well, atmospheric pressure acting on joints decreases in wintertime, allowing joints to expand. Oh, so yeah, no result. Stretching. Oh, okay. So atmospheric pressure acting on the joints decreases in the wintertime, allowing the joints to expand a little bit,
Mm.
resulting in stretching of tissues around the joint. so you're
Wow.
so it's like your bones are actually really wow.
Why, God? Why?
Increased nerve sensitivity and poor blood circulation. I guess that's why you have to keep moving around when it's cold.
So God created this so that we would be more active in the winter
Well,
times when we
well, I think this is
want
more
to
a
settle
result.
in.
I think this is more of a result of sin. So I don't know if you want to blame God for this one. Um, yeah, interesting,
Science
interesting.
never ceases to amaze me.
But you know what's crazy? When you're a kid, you don't pay attention to it, or it just doesn't happen. Then you get a little older, then all of a sudden,
I must have been an old kid for my entire life.
but you've had problems forever. Hey Ada, you like born
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
joint
I was
problems,
born 90.
right? You got a Benjamin Button body. Just just
Oh man.
you born an old woman, and through medication and technology, you're becoming younger and
Right.
younger. Your whole body can be filled with titanium and steel, and you'll be a darn cyborg by the time
I
you're 50.
know. I'm gonna get one of those red eyes like the Terminator.
Right? Because you're what, 31?
Yes.
Why you look like that? You better
First of
pray.
all, what happened to that rule? You're not supposed to ask a lady how old they are.
But I think people can put it together because you were online. I'm 30 last year. I'm 30 last year. I'm 30. I'm 30. It's a big 30. People that
Yeah,
know you know enough that you're 31 this year.
I'm 31.
Yeah. It's not like it's private information.
Hmm.
Not like you old. You still a spring chicken.
If you say so.
Look, you were 6 years old when I started high school. You were
Wow.
born in 90, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. My freshman year was 1996. So yeah.
So you old.
I'm getting there. I'll be 40 this year. I told you. Yeah. I was, yeah. Yeah. I start freshman year is 1996.
Crazy. When is
Graduated in
your
2000.
Trivia questions yesterday for Engage was what was one of your first leadership roles at Bethany?
Mm.
And it was that you were a deacon as a teenager, right?
A junior deacon, yeah.
Junior deacon. That
Yeah, I was
was a
a
long
junior
time
deacon,
ago.
then became a minister, then a reverend, then pastor, and yeah,
Climbed up the ladder.
yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Ada.
Oh, a cute little spring chicken.
That's why I like Ada.
Ada's just optimistic about everything and just, So y'all come on, please share. We're just sitting there chopping it up for a little bit. We've been talking about faith for a little bit, and uh, trusting God through everything.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about what faith was, what faith wasn't. Um, trying to dispel some of the myths about faith, and I think that when we understand what true faith in God is, we kind of relax a little bit. I think here it is. I think sometimes we have faith in faith rather than having faith in God.
Mm-hmm.
The power of our faith is not in our ability to believe, it's in the one that we believe. So we always feel like I don't have enough. I mean, I have enough faith. But if Jesus talks about there are times where you have a mustard seed of faith, you can do some stuff. That's not a whole lot of faith.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say have faith in faith. He said have faith in God. Right? And then some people feel like, well, it didn't happen because I didn't have enough faith. Could it be that, maybe you just weren't ready for it, or that wasn't just God's plan for your life?
Mm-hmm.
It could be a variety of reasons, but the reality is he tells us to have faith in him, not have faith in faith. So my ability to believe is important. I'm not saying, please don't hear me out. I'm not saying that our ability to believe isn't important, because it is. But our ability to trust in God is the important thing. Have faith in God. Don't have faith in faith. You got it? And I
Yeah.
think that's a good thing for us, because it takes some of the pressure off us understanding that, God never asked us to have, we see, we need our faith increase. We grow in our faith. We grow from faith to faith. All that's important. I'm not denying that. I'm just simply saying, know where the power is. The power is not in our faith. The power is in the God that we have faith in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing. The God, the one that we have faith in. We have faith in God. Not faith in our abilities per se. I'm not saying you can't have a positive image of yourself where you know what you can do, believe what you can do, but he tells us very plainly, have faith in God.
Yeah.
And trust him through it all. This season's been very traumatic for a lot of people. And they're wondering, what's going on. I think this is a great season for trust.
Yeah.
It's a great season for trust, and a huge season for trust. And, I think that's the most important thing, is learning to trust God through all of this.
Mm-hmm.
When things don't make sense, when things don't seem to work out the way we want to work out, can we trust God through it all?
Yeah.
And that takes time, and that takes relationship, years, time. Trust is important.
Can you kind of explain, though, the dynamic between faith and hope?
Sure. I think that our hope is founded on our faith.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is the substance, the foundation, the title deed of what we hope for. So our expectation, our hope is built on our belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Because I only hope for what I believe.
Right.
So, hey, the color of your wall is the color of your dress yesterday, somewhat.
It's a completely different shade of yellow, Pastor Dick.
It looks like that greenish yellow from camera.
It's the camera work.
Yeah, it's the camera work. What's that color again?
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse.
Uh-huh.
Chartreuse, whatever.
This
So
is more like a sunshine yellow, but
yeah, like a mustard, vomit
like
yellow
mustard.
and green.
I like mustard too.
You don't like mustard?
No, I do like mustard, but
Oh,
I didn't think about having that color on my
no,
wall.
it's like a greenish yellow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway, um, so we hope for what we believe in, right? I didn't even know chartreuse was a color. Um, we hope, right? We hope for what we believe in. Okay. Uh, so if you want to change your expectation, because hope is all hope is a positive expectation. If you want to change your expectation, change your belief system.
Mhm.
Your belief system dictates what you hope for. So
Right.
if we have a negative expectation, I have to check my hope. I have to check my belief system
Mhm.
because belief and hope, belief and expectation all go together,
Yeah.
and you
I
can't
feel
separate the 2.
I feel like sometimes the word faith has become one of those like pop culture words where
Mhm.
you just say it because it's in trend sometimes. But do we always have the hope, the expectation with it that God is actually going to move and to hold true to that faith? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of things, Bishop, we've been saying it for a while. Things can be concepts. We turn love into a concept, faith
Mhm.
into a concept, joy into a concept. Where it's just something that we say, something we do, rather than it being what it's supposed to be. Like
Mhm.
something I mentioned during the discussion yesterday, where Paul talks in Romans 15 about that the God of hope will fill you with joy and hope. I'm paraphrasing, in believing. And I had to remind myself, God is still God. Keep believing God. And that belief system in Him can allow the Spirit to pour hope, the God of hope, fill you with hope, fill you with joy. So it's not like I believe God inactive. I believe God in action. I believe Him in doing.
Mhm.
Trust Him in doing. And joy is based off expectation.
Yeah.
When you look at joy in the Greek, one of its imageries is a feeling that arises from future good.
Mhm.
So part of joy is not what's going on right now. Joy is that expectation of a future reality that's good in spite of what we're experiencing today.
Yeah.
So faith, hope, something we've been talking about in Emerging on Saturday nights. Faith, hope, and feelings and our
Mhm.
attitude all go together. But it starts with our belief system, though.
That's good. I don't know. I'll put myself out there. Like I this morning, I was feeling a little discouraged, for lack of better
Mhm,
words, with where we are with the virus and everything. Of
mhm,
course, after hearing about Colin
mhm.
Powell, I was like, okay, like when is this going to get
Yeah,
better?
over. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know? So I was like, is it? So I have faith. I had to trust and believe that there is going to be an end to this, but I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of hearing about, the people that are losing loved ones and like Colin Powell. Like he's been through so much in war or whatever. I would have never thought that he would have gone through this.
yeah. Well, I mean, he had cancer and a few other things, so his immune system was just
Mhm.
real low. So and this is what gets me about people. He was fully vaccinated. See, the vaccine doesn't work.
Yeah.
He had a compromised immune system due to myeloma and a few other things. So he was 84 years old. I was telling somebody today, I'm like, people, seniors that have the flu shot,
Mhm.
the regular flu for them with the flu shot is bad.
Yeah.
COVID makes it worse, you know? So I just don't understand. But you know what it is? It's people, they have a viewpoint and they use the most random things to fuel their viewpoint
Mhm.
and don't consider everything else.
Yeah.
But this thing will eventually be over. Um, we don't know when, but all plagues, all viruses eventually come to a overwhelming end. They still may be present, but it won't be the way it is. So the thing is, we just don't know when it's going to be over. Like
Mhm.
the Spanish flu
Mhm.
from 1919, it lasted 3 years. 3 years. Now imagine they had no internet, no online stuff. They had the social
Yeah.
distance. One thing they didn't have was a vaccine. you know, and a lot of the same stuff you're seeing from people in the Spanish flu you're seeing now.
Yeah.
So they thought it was over, right? Because everything was declining, deaths were going down, etc. So they had this huge parade, right, to celebrate that the flu was over. And guess what happened? All those people coming together caused
No.
it to spike back up again, right? and it lasted longer. So, you know, we've been in this almost for what? It'll be 2 years in March, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the vaccines, it's hoping to accelerate it. But, you know, all we can do is just, and all of us are getting tired of COVID, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, and you know, some people are getting um they're getting very relaxed, so they're doing stuff which, you know, causes, it's a communal virus,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to spread. Uh but it's going to take time. The bubonic plague lasted 3 years.
Yeah.
Spanish flu was 3 years some change. We may hit a decline in 2022, 2023. I mean, like, significant decline.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like, unfortunately, by the time COVID's over, we'll probably be over 1 million deaths.
Jeez.
Probably. The way it's looking. Because you figure, let me see, how many. We're up to, in total, how many in total? I know we're over 600,000 in total.
Okay.
The whole world is like almost 5 million people in the world.
That's crazy.
I know. I think all of us are just tired of it, but a lot of us is just trusting God and doing the right thing. I mean, it's a droplet disease. If you're around a bunch of people, the odds are
Mm-hmm.
higher. You know, uh, I'm still being cautious. I just,
I don't blame you.
yeah.
It sucks. Like, I miss going to the movie theaters, but I'd rather be safe and be patient. And I
Yeah.
think that's what Bishop and you guys talked about a little bit yesterday too, is like being patient and not trying to force things and in the end prolonging the situation.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, trust me, I would love for this thing to be over soon so we can get back to some normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
The, I don't like how it happened, but there are some things about COVID. This COVID, I think, it taught a lot of us to slow down some.
Yeah.
Like looking back on your schedule pre-COVID and how busy we were, on the move we were,
Mm-hmm.
running how we are. Woo! It was a lot. It was a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But I think hopefully this puts some things back into in perspective,
Yeah.
so we can be busy still, do what we need to do for God, ministry, etc. But also value. Some of us got to spend more time with our families than we used
Yeah.
to, and seeing other people die from something,
Yeah.
and still having your family around should give you empathy towards that person, but also appreciation
Right.
that we still got people around, in spite of the deaths that's been going on.
Mhm.
It's all about how you see it.
Yeah. It makes those little fights that you have, that all families have, seem less important.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you start really valuing the people in your life, because you just never know. Like we had a member here. She lost, I think, 5 people within a month and a half from COVID last year.
Wow.
I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. Or when it first started, because it first started in 20, right?
Beginning of 20, yep.
Beginning of 20, yeah. And then this was year. Oh yeah. So I mean, it's real, but a lot of us need to be patient, trust God through it, because it seems the big question is, where's God in all this? We're praying, how come he stopped it? You got people breathing into the air, trying to blow it away, you rebuke it. It ain't going nowhere. Obviously, it's not going anywhere with all of our I'll just say it, our delusions of grandeur.
Mm-hmm.
and being able to breathe this thing away and just rebuke it away, it is still here.
Yep.
I probably shouldn't use delusion of grandeur. That was probably too harsh. Uh,
That's
you
how you
know,
feel. Yeah.
I just, in seasons of judgment, God has a timetable. And no matter how much you pray, cry, that timetable is going to be the timetable.
Right.
We just got to trust God through all this, you know, uh, and try to feed ourselves some hope during the course of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Intentional about it.
Exactly. I say it's okay. I feel like it's okay to have these moments where you're just like, okay, I'm ready for it to be over. Why, whatever. But you have to be intentional, like you just said, to see the perspective in it and
Yeah.
how you can grow or whatever
Yeah.
in this season.
Yeah. And learn to filter your feelings through faith. Filter
Mhm.
them through faith. And do things that you can do that, are wise. Like I'll go take a walk sometimes. So it's getting cold out. Go sit outside and just look, just something, there's something to getting out, doing stuff. Again, my same thing was last year. My fear was how people are going to do emotionally during the winter months
Mhm.
because, they're not going out, walking as much. People are more indoors. But it seems like everybody's open. They full-time Christmas shopping back.
I know. And that's probably what's so confusing about it because you out inside looking out, you think that everything is back to normal. It is not.
It's not.
It's not.
If with the Thanksgiving holiday, Christmas holiday, we're probably gonna see a spike because all the people together, just like last year. I hope it doesn't. I hope I'm wrong,
Mhm.
but I just would not be surprised at all. But a big part of this is learning to trust God in a real way
Yeah.
and learn to acknowledge your feelings. Like, I remember I did that series last year. Sometimes life stinks because it's true. And you got to learn to deal with when life stinks. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks. It just, and you got to process and work through it.
Mhm.
That's all. I'm a big component. You can do Jesus and therapy at the same time. You can do both. One doesn't have to contradict with the other. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ranting and raving.
I don't know. It felt like that kind of day.
Yeah. But do you experience like there are times where I'm fine for a while, and then all of a sudden it'll just hit you one day,
Mhm.
and then a couple of days you'll feel it, and then you'll go right back to I'm good.
Yeah.
Your days you're weaker, and some days you're stronger. Some days it doesn't bother you, some days it does. And I think you have to learn to go through those ebbs and flows
Absolutely.
and understand I'm just having a moment. It's not gonna last forever.
And like you said, allow yourself to feel it. Like that was me this morning. And I'm getting teary eyed just thinking about it now, just missing people, that had passed during this time. And then like that spiral of like, why did it have to be now? And, all what we just talked about. But I had to go through it in order to get to but God is good.
Yeah, yeah. I said it when the pandemic started, and I really believe it. There's a reason why therapists are so booked up now, because this season is weighing on people mentally and emotionally.
Hmm.
And some people are going to need some PTSD therapy after the season's over. Seriously, they're going to be afraid. They're not going to be as comfortable going out, doing stuff. Some folk, they don't care. They just live, do whatever.
Hmm.
Um, you know, but I think there are some folk, you have to know you, and you have to know your emotional mental state and care for it.
Hmm.
You know, uh, some folk I know they're extremely cautious, over the top cautious when it first started. Now they're like, oh well, I got my shot, and they just live their lives. And
It's like that commercial. Have you seen it where it's like first time parents and they're like extremely cautious of everything, and then when the second child comes, they're like, oh, whatever.
mhm,
Just
that's what
came
it's
through.
like.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. So excuse me. I saw one guy I was talking about. He was talking about this on Twitter. Like he fully vaxxed. He got COVID. He just had a rough few days. But he said glad he got vaccinated because if he felt that way without being vaccinated, he probably would have been in the hospital. He said.
Mm.
But what he found out was it's taking him over a month to get the brain fog out.
Mm.
Like literally, he only has energy to do like 1 or 2 things a day.
Wow.
Like he randomly falls asleep because his energy levels aren't there yet.
Wow.
Some people are saying it takes like a month and some change for you to really get your energy back. For those who have this situation, the long haul COVID people. That's the other thing I'm talking about. People are like, well, we ain't died, but there are a lot of people that have long COVID where they're still dealing with these symptoms. I know somebody still doesn't have her taste and smell back.
Me too.
And it's been over a year. So,
Jeez.
I mean, I trust God, but I also believe that God wants us to be wise too.
Absolutely.
And be cautious. I don't get it.
But it doesn't make sense, but I guess it's not supposed to.
Yeah. I don't know. We got out here because of you.
Yeah, I'll take it this time. I'll take it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Hope it helps a little bit. But I mean, it's all of us feel that way. When's this going to be over? I think if you care about people, you feel that way.
Yeah.
If you really only don't care about people like that, you really don't feel that way that much. And is it an indictment? Yeah, absolutely. But if you really care about people, you feel some type of way. And I took care of it.
Okay.
You'll feel some type of way because you don't, like you said, you don't want other people experiencing all this stuff.
Right.
And it hurts you to know that other people are experiencing this stuff. So, anyway, faith. I don't know how we start this off.
Honestly, I don't even know. Well, we were talking about faith and hope.
And trust, yeah.
And trust.
Faith, hope, and trust, yeah. And we talked about it. A lot of stuff is endurance. Endurance is necessary. That's why the Bible talks so much about endurance and patience. You have to have endurance. This is a season that's testing our endurance. And also, endurance also means knowing when it's time for you to say, you know what? Today, I'm going to take off.
Yeah.
This is cool, but I don't have to do it right now.
Right.
I'm going to take this 2 hours. Even if you can't take the whole day off, I'm going to take these next 2-3 hours to do something completely mindless that requires no major thought and complete relaxation. God is not opposed to that. He's not opposed to that at all. And I think that's all. Self-care is important too, and knowing your limits and knowing your boundaries.
On the 7th day, God rested. So
yeah,
if he can do it, I think it's okay for us to take some time to reset too.
Yeah, rest is biblical. It's biblical, and there's nothing wrong with that. You may not get a whole day, but you get some days or some portions of a day,
right,
where you can be at rest. So especially those you ain't got no kids responsibility. You got, those got kids. We understand.
You don't know how good you got it.
Rest is a luxury.
Yeah.
You get 10 minutes without nobody calling your name. That's a blessing. That's a luxury sometimes. But
or even if it's just doing something that brings you joy. So for me, doing photography, like that's my mini vacation to do something that I enjoy.
Yeah, because rest is not always sleep. Rest can be, like you said, doing something that you enjoy doing. It brings joy into your life, fulfillment, all that good stuff. So, and by faith, we're allowed to enter into and rest. Because rest means, here's what rest really means. Rest means I trust God with my life.
Yeah.
Everything that happens in my life is not based off my work. That's what the whole Sabbath and rest is all about. It's understanding that everything we have comes by God's grace.
Yeah.
And God told them to take off on purpose at times so they can rely on his grace to provide for them, to remind them that the success of your whole life is not based off our individual work. Now, work hard. I'm not against work. Work hard. But understanding that God's grace is the thing that holds us.
Right.
God's grace is what really provides for us. So work hard, do all that stuff, but learn how to rest. All right, I'm done. I'm good.
That's good. I enjoyed that conversation, Pastor Nick.
Mm-hmm. What's going on this week?
So this week, of course, we have another busy week. We have the recap tonight at 5:30, followed by the Encounter Drive-In service at 7 p.m. And then, of course, on Tuesday, we have the Link Couples Ministry by our very own Pastor Nick, who's going to share another awesome message.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget.
Right.
And then Wednesday, we're back for Word Impact Gathering at 7 p.m. with Pastor Nick again and Bishop. Thursday, I'm excited for this panel. It's the BPA business panel. So for all you business owners, or for those who are thinking about going to business, or if you know someone who is, trying to do so, tune in Thursday at 7 p.m. So we will share information about, different practices of being a good business owner, especially in faith. Saturday, On Point Radio at 9 a.m. Emerging Worship at 6 p.m. And yes, we are also holding our drive-in encounter services on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. And then Sunday, a full day of worship starting with Engage Live at 7:50, 9:45. Our worship services at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. It's also important to note that it is our church anniversary, so 54 years. We're celebrating this upcoming Sunday of transforming lives one at a time. So I'm excited for that. We're also sowing our first fruit offering on that day as well. And then to cap it all off, 10 Times Better Women starting at 5:30 p.m. with Bishop and Pastor Nick with the pre-show discussion and a message to follow. So that is the week coming up.
Yep.
Busy week.
Busy week. And I got to go get my kids, finish homeschooling.
Oh, that sounds fun.
No, man, it's no joke. Woo. I tell people, man, like it's homeschooling kids during this time, and just a thought of even worrying about them going to school.
Yeah.
And not coming home with something. That's a major thing.
Mm-hmm.
A major thing to feel.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We love you. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.